Hello and a very good morning. It just past 8 this Friday morning and we're back again with all the news on Breakfast News. I am Nancy Maharashtra and over the next 1 hour we'll get you all the news from across the nation, world, sports and business updates as well. But first a look at the top stories. Campaigning picks up for Haryana and Maharashtra Assembly elections ahead of 21st October voting. Prime Minister Modi to address the poll rallies in both the states, while the Congress leader Sonia Gandhi will campaign in Haryana. The BSP chief Mayawati to also hold rallies in Haryana. President Ramnath Kovind to be accorded ceremonial reception in Manila today. During his 5-day visit to the Philippines, President Kovind to also hold talks with the Philippines President. The two countries to ink several pacts in various fields. The External Affairs Ministry says an agreement has been reached with Pakistan on all other issues related to Kartarpur Sahib corridor except the matter of the service fee. Says Pakistan insists on levying a fee on all the pilgrims and India has urged Islamabad to not do so in the interest of the devotees. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari announces naming of new national highway number 703AA as Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Marg. The national highway starting from Kapurthala and connecting Gobindwal Sahib near Taran Taran in Punjab declared as the new highway starting November this year. No relief for former Union Minister P. Chidambaram in the INX media case as Delhi court sends Chidambaram to Enforcement Directorate's custody till the 24th of this month. Judicial custody also extended till the same date. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana rank as the top 5 states in innovation in Niti Ayog's first Innovation Index of India. Sikkim tops the list among the northeastern states, while national capital Delhi leads the rankings among the union territories. In international news, US Vice President Mike Pence says deal reached with Turkey's President Erdogan for a ceasefire in northern Syria. Turkey will pause all the military operations for 120 hours to allow the withdrawal of the YPG forces. And our top story, as Maharashtra and Haryana are inching closer to the polling date, the campaigning in both the states have gained momentum, with the senior leaders from all the parties leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a public rally in Haryana's Gohana. Later in the evening, he will address a rally in Mumbai. BJP National President Amit Shah will be in Maharashtra today to address rallies in Aheri, Rajura, Vani and Khaparkheda. Senior Congress leader Sonia Gandhi will be addressing a rally in Mahendragarh in Haryana. And BSP chief Mayawati will also hold rallies in Sohna and Beri in Haryana. Senior BJP leader Rajnath Singh will also be in Haryana for campaigning. He will be holding rallies in Beri and Prithla. Moving on now, President Ramnath Kovind will be accorded ceremonial reception in Manila today. During his 5-day visit to the Philippines, President Kovind will also hold delegation-level talks with the Philippines President, during which both the sides will discuss issues of mutual concern. The two leaders are also set to witness the signing of bilateral agreements. On Saturday, the President will have meetings with the liver transplant patients as well as with the beneficiaries of the Mahavir Philippines Foundation. After this, the President will proceed to the Philippines-India Business Conclave and the 4th ASEAN-India Business Summit. On Sunday, the President will attend the installation of the Mahatma Gandhi bust in Quezon City before meeting with the Indian community. A long-pending aspiration and demand of the Sikh community is set to be fulfilled. Prime Minister Modi is set to formally inaugurate the Indian side of the transit facility of the Kartarpur corridor next month around the occasion of the 550th Prakash Parv celebrations of the first Sikh Guru Nanak Dev on the 9th of November. The work on the Indian side of the corridor is likely to be completed by the 31st of this month.
The much-anticipated Kartarpur Corridor project for Indian pilgrims to visit the revered Sikh shrine across the border in Pakistan is finally set to be inaugurated. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will formally inaugurate the Indian side of the corridor on the 8th of November. Construction work is expected to be complete by 31st October. The 4.2-kilometer long corridor is to be opened on the occasion of the 550th Prakash Parab celebrations of Guru Nanak Dev on the 9th of November.
45 दिन में हम यहाँ तक आ गए हैं जब 75% हमने ये कार्य पूरा कर दिया है और 31 अक्टूबर को बाकी का जो काम है वो पूरा कर दिया जाए। ये बिल्डिंग एक एफिशिएंट आर्किटेक्चर के हिसाब से बनाई गई है जिससे कि मिनिमम एरिया में मैक्सिमम लोगों का मूवमेंट हो सके, क्योंकि 5000 लोगों का मूवमेंट करना था और उतनी जगह हमारे पास नहीं थी कि हम डबल काउंटर्स बनाएं। तो सिंगल काउंटर्स के जरिए हम जाने और आने दोनों का प्राविधान कर रहे हैं। इससे हमारी स्पेस हमने कम करी है। दूसरा, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि जो डिज़ाइन है वो 3 डायमेंशनल आर्किटेक्चर है। इसमें हर स्क्वायर इंच का डिज़ाइन अलग होता है और इसको बनाने में कंप्यूटर एडेड टेक्निक्स का इस्तेमाल होता है।
Work on the corridor began on the 4th of June and 80% construction was completed in a record time of 5 months. Locals in the area and pilgrims are extremely enthusiastic about the opening of the corridor next month. People here credit Prime Minister Narendra Modi and laud him for taking the initiative to make the pilgrimage to the revered shrine possible.
प्रधानमंत्री ने जो वादा किया है पूरा पहली बार जिंदगी में 70 साल में पहली बार देख रहे हैं। नहीं तो आगे बड़े बड़ी है कभी उधर गए नहीं।
भारत सरकार ने ये बहुत बड़ा मौका दिया है। 550 साल प्रकाश उत्सव गुरु नानक देव जी का जो मनाया जा रहा है, उस दिन पर जो ये लोगों के लिए संगतों के लिए जो दर्शन के लिए व्यवस्था की गई है, हम भारत सरकार के बहुत धन्यवादी हैं।
The government, led by Prime Minister Modi, had taken the decision to celebrate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji with great fervour. And it was in this context that it was decided to construct the Kartarpur corridor from Dera Baba Nanak in Punjab's Gurdaspur district to the Kartarpur Sahib Gurdwara in Narwal district of Pakistan's Punjab province. Located 4.5 kilometers from the IB and highly revered among Sikhs, as it was the place where Guru Nanak spent 18 years of his life and is his final resting place. With inputs from Sudhakar Das, DD News.
And the External Affairs Ministry has said that after several rounds of discussion with Pakistan, both the countries have reached an agreement on all other issues except the matter of the service fee. The ministry's official spokesperson Ravish Kumar said, I quote, "The Kartarpur Sahib corridor is an important people-to-people initiative taken by India to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. After several rounds of discussion with Pakistan, we have reached an agreement on all other issues except the matter of service fee. Pakistan insists on levying a fee of $20, that's approximately 1,420 rupees, on all the pilgrims. We have urged Pakistan to not do so in the interest of the devotees and also because this is a people-to-people initiative. We hope that the agreement can be concluded and signed in time for the great event," unquote. In a progressive move, Rajouri District Administration has started an awareness campaign under central government's flagship scheme Beti Bachao Beti Padhao to empower women who belong from remote and far-flung areas of the district. Take a look at this report.
Rajouri District Administration is organizing women empowerment campaigns in far-flung hilly areas of the district under the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. The campaign aims at encouraging women to acquire skills and become independent.
गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से हमें शाल, बेडशीटें सब कुछ आता है। बच्चों को सब कुछ गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से है। धागा, आरियां, शाल सब कुछ गवर्नमेंट देती है।
Women of Rajouri are rejoicing as 25 handicraft centers have been set up by the government. These centers are functioning in different areas of the district. The centers have been opened up in areas like Manjakote, Dharhal, Thanna, Mandi, Naushera, Sundarbani, Kotranka, Budhal for training women. Training is provided free of cost here. In fact, Each student under the training here gets a stipend of 700 rupees per month.
बहुत अच्छे से मुख्तलिफ किस्म के डिज़ाइन जो हैं यहाँ पे सिखाए जाते हैं। इन डिज़ाइंस की आगे बहुत अच्छे से बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड आ रही है हमारे पास। जो मटेरियल आता है मतलब धागा आता है, आरी आती है हमें, और ये जो कपड़ा आता है ये हमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से दिया जाता है। और हमें क्या होता है कि 700 रुपया मंथली जो है वो भी दिया जाता है, ताकि लड़कियाँ जो हैं अपने पाँव पे आगे खड़ी हो सके, ये काम सीख के मुख्तलिफ किस्म के सेंटर खोल सके और अपने रोजगार को आगे चला सके।
These centers have been established not just at the district or tehsil headquarters but in far-flung villages. For example, this particular center is functioning in remote Gudian village. More than 25 students are under training at this center.
काफ़ी एजेस से वो सेंटर जो ऐसे स्कीम्स बना रहे हैं। जब तक वो चीज़ें लोगों तक अवेयर नहीं होंगी, लोगों को पता नहीं चलेंगी कि सेंटर उनके लिए क्या पॉलिसीज फ्रेम करें, सेंटर में बैठ के वो जो वहाँ पे डिग्निटरीज बैठे हैं वो क्या बना रहे हैं हम लोगों के लिए, क्या हमें प्रोविजंस दिए जा रहे हैं स्पेशली फॉर द वुमेन। सो इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई मीन ये जितनी भी स्कीम्स बनाई हैं जब तक वो लोगों तक पहुँचेंगी नहीं, ग्रास रूट लेवल तक उनको अवेयरनेस नहीं आएगी, तो वो इन चीज़ों से दे जस्ट कांट टेक आउट मैक्सिमम आउट ऑफ दीज ऑल थिंग्स। सो मेन थिंग इज दिस कि हम स्प्रेड करें अवेयरनेस, तभी वो सभी स्कीम से मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट्स जो है वो ले सकते हैं।
The campaign is widening the horizons of women in the area, which would open up new opportunities for them. Bureau Report, DD India.
And let's now go across to our correspondent Vishal Barrister, who is joining us from Srinagar this morning. Vishal, good morning. So clearly the focus continues to be on empowering the people of J&K, taking forward the development path, the development journey, and clearly each and every section, each and every strata of society there in J&K is clear, very, being focused on very carefully. Also, focus being on students, because academics are going to play a very important life in their a role in their life, and that's why even the examinations have also been announced.
Well, absolutely. A very good morning to you, Nancy. We have had showers of blessings all night, so I have woken up to a very cold and wet morning, and it is very, very fresh here in the valley. So the things are moving right in the right direction according to the government plan, and also with the support of the people. Let me also tell you that apart from empowering the women, helping out the children who are preparing for the exams, the employment issue has also been taken care of, and today the army would be starting a recruitment drive in the Baramulla sector. So that is going to be a big focus of the day, as the youth of Kashmir, who so far have been ignored, who so far have been somehow diverted, their attention has been diverted by the separatists, and also who have been so far not been there in the mainstream. Now they would be joining the army. So I would be going there to cover, and by evening I'll give you the report. So it is going to be a very nice scene as the youth of Kashmir turns out to join the Indian Army to participate in the development of the nation. And apart from that, another good news for the apple growers, that Lulu Group, which belongs to the United Arab Emirates, has taken 200 tons of apples as samples to be tested in the Middle East. So this is a good news for the apple growers, as the apples of Kashmir would soon be exported to the Middle East. So things are looking better and brighter here in Kashmir. Nancy?
Absolutely. All right, Vishal, thanks for those inputs for the moment. Thanks very much. Moving on now, the Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has announced the naming of new National Highway number 703AA as Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Marg. The road starting from Kapurthala, connecting Govindwal Sahib and terminating near Taran Taran in Punjab has been declared as the new National Highway. The naming would be effective from next month. The decision has been taken to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Shri Guru Nanak Dev. Moving on now, Delhi court on Thursday sent former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram for custodial interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate till the 24th of this month in the INX Media money laundering case. Special Judge Ajay Kumar Kuhar allowed the Enforcement Directorate to interrogate Chidambaram and also granted him permission to have home-cooked food, Western toilet, medicines in the Enforcement Directorate custody. The probe agency has sought 14-day custodial interrogation of the 74-year-old senior Congress leader. The court has also extended the judicial custody of Chidambaram till the same date in the INX Media corruption case lodged by the CBI. A camp is being organized under India for Humanity initiative of the Government of India to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi in Dhaka. A team of 8 experts from Jaipur-based Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayata Samiti is conducting the camp. Around 500 amputees will be provided artificial limb in Dhaka through the camp. The Indian High Commission, in association with the National Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedic Rehabilitation, along with Bangladesh Orthopedic Society, is organizing a 42-day-long Jaipur Foot Artificial Limb Fitment Camp in Dhaka. The camp that began on 28 September was formally inaugurated jointly by India and Bangladesh officials. And news now on the air quality in the national capital. Poor and even worse air quality days have returned to the national capital and its surrounding areas with a vengeance. The graded response action plan has come into force in the NCR from 15th October, but the weather coupled with different sources of pollution are keeping the air quality poor and very poor zones in almost all the areas. Now Delhi is gearing up for the return of the odd even scheme for 10 days in November. Take a look.
The concerns surrounding poor air quality increased dramatically as winters set in the national capital and its surrounding areas. People woke up to poor air quality on Thursday morning. The Central Pollution Control Board reported that the air quality index was 293 around 9 a.m., which is in the poor category. In certain pockets, the AQI was much worse. 391 recorded in Connaught Place, the heart of the capital, falling in the very poor category and almost in the severe category. Many green areas of the national capital also recorded poor air quality. At around 5 in the evening, Delhi University 309, Chandni Chowk 314, Lodi Road 302, IIT Delhi 303, Indira Gandhi International Airport 240, ITO 288, Mandir Marg 254, Punjabi Bagh 284. Minister of State for Home Affairs Kishan Reddy said that more steps need to be taken to reduce air pollution in the capital. He was speaking at an event in Delhi. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said on Thursday that private vehicles carrying school children in uniform will be exempted from the odd-even scheme. The scheme will be effective from November 4 to November 15 and is being implemented in view of severe air pollution in the national capital. Two-wheelers will be exempt under the scheme. Violation of the rules will attract a penalty of 4,000 rupees, double of the earlier fine of 2,000 rupees. Private CNG vehicles will also have to follow the scheme, including all non-goods vehicles coming to Delhi from other areas.
जॉगिंग करने में सांस लेने में तकलीफ होनी स्टार्ट हुई है, आंखों में भी इरिटेशन स्टार्ट हो गया है. प्रिकॉशन अभी जैसे ही बढ़ेगा तो मास्क लगाना स्टार्ट करेंगे, यहाँ आना बंद कर देंगे, घर में रहेंगे, क्योंकि यही करना पड़ेगा और कोई रास्ता नहीं है.
नहीं, वॉक तो हमें करनी जरूरी है, लेकिन ये पोल्यूशन के लिए तो देखिए गवर्नमेंट जिम्मेदार है. गवर्नमेंट को थोड़ा इसके प्रति एक्शन लेना चाहिए.
बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा हुआ पोल्यूशन देख रहे हैं आप, इंडिया के नजर नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ से, इतनी धुंधला है, इतना ज़्यादा पोल्यूशन है. अभी तो सर्दी स्टार्ट ही हुई है, आगे तो ज़्यादा होना है.
काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे देखने को मिली यहाँ पे, और उस तरफ दोनों तरफ विजिबिलिटी बहुत कम है और सांस लेने में काफ़ी दिक्कत और आंखों में भी काफ़ी जलन है यहाँ पे.
Change in the air quality here. When you breathe in, you feel that there is a change.
It is a matter of concern that the health of people living in and around the capital is adversely impacted because of the poor air quality. Children and the elderly are the worst affected. DD India.
To realize the vision of Healthy India, Prosperous India, the Ayushman Bharat scheme launched by the central government is having a widespread impact, especially in the rural areas. Under the scheme, people who cannot afford the cost of their treatment are getting treated for their serious ailments and getting a new lease of life. Here's a ground report from Jammu and Kashmir's Katwa district.
Ajit, a resident of Jammu and Kashmir's Katwa, had never thought he could get a new life, that too without spending any money.
सरकार ने हमको जो कार्ड दिया है उससे हमें को दिन बहुत लाभ हो रहा है. कोई पहले जो डॉक्टर थे वो फीस भी बहुत लेते थे, जो दवाइयाँ बाहर से लेनी हो तो बहुत खर्च होता है। हम गरीब बंदे हैं, हम इतना पैसा कहाँ से लेना है। तो जो कार्ड बनाया है हमको जो दवाइयाँ मिल रही हैं।
Due to his poor financial condition, Baisakhi Ram, another resident of Kathua, could not afford to get his treatment done at a private hospital. He's been facing a lot of age-related issues.
I have not been well since a long time. Due to my financial situation, I could not afford the treatment in a private hospital. Someone told me about the golden card. I got the golden card made and I'm finding it very beneficial. Now I'm getting treated for free and I'm happy and satisfied with the doctors and the treatment that I'm getting.
Under the Ayushman Bharat scheme in Kathua district, treatment of 390 patients having golden card have been done without paying anything. Out of these, many patients even underwent surgeries. To ease the process and serve people better, a separate counter is being run in hospitals to cater to the needs of patients having their golden cards. Ayushman Bharat Yojana is a boon for such people in dire need. Bureau Report, DD News.
And moving on now to international news, the United States and Turkey have agreed to a temporary ceasefire in northern Syria. The truce was announced by US Vice President Mike Pence after talks in Ankara with Turkey's President Erdogan, and was swiftly hailed by President Donald Trump, who said it would save millions of lives. 9 days into Turkey's invasion of northern Syria, Ankara agreed to pause the military operations for 120 hours, while the US facilitates the withdrawal of the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces from a 20-mile safe zone along the border. The US Vice President Mike Pence said that once the Kurdish fighters, which Turkey views as terrorists, are removed from the area, Ankara will implement a permanent ceasefire. Almost immediately after Pence spoke, Turkish Foreign Minister pushed back on how Pence framed the agreement, telling reporters it was a pause in Turkey's operations but not a ceasefire, because the ceasefire takes place between two legitimate parties and the operation was aimed at removing the terrorist elements from the region. And the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad held talks with the Iraqi National Security Advisor Faleh al-Fayyad in Damascus yesterday. The Syrian state media quoted Assad as saying his country will respond to a Turkish aggression on any part of its territory with all legitimate means available. The comments came after an agreement between Damascus and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces to fend off an assault launched by Turkey on northeastern Syria. And the latest on Brexit, in fact we'll get to that news in just a bit, but first off, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe thanked the Indian government and Prime Minister Narendra Modi for aiding the Jaffna International Airport project. The airport began its international operations yesterday with the arrival of an Alliance Air flight from Chennai. The airport was inaugurated by Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena. At the inauguration, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe lauded the efforts of the Indian Ministries of External Affairs and Civil Aviation and said that there is tremendous potential for collaboration in the region. He added that efforts are being made to start the services between Jaffna and Colombo. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar extended his best wishes via a tweet. Regular commercial flights between Chennai and Jaffna are scheduled to commence from next month. India assisted in the upgrade of the Jaffna airport, which was earlier used as a military airport and domestic flights. Now, flights from India were discontinued in early 70s following the war against the LTTE.
I'd like to take the opportunity here to thank the government of India and the Indian High Commission here for all the help they have given us in getting this international airport going. It would not have been possible if we worked through the usual channels. We had to speak to Delhi, the High Commission moved. Similarly, I must also mention the assistance given by the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, together with the Civil Aviation Ministry and the other concerned agencies. As a result, we have the Alliance Air flying here for the first time, and I hope this is the beginning. you fly to Batiklo, and as you have requested, we granted you permission to fly to Colombo and back. So we hope to see the full program being implemented.
And now the latest on Brexit. Finally, a deal has been struck between the UK and European Union ahead of the Brexit deadline on 31st of this month. Now, as per the deal, the whole of the UK will leave the European Union Customs Union. This means that the UK will be able to strike trade deals with other countries in the future. And there will also be a legal customs border between Great Britain and the Republic of Ireland, which stays in the European Union, with the goods being checked at the points of entry in Northern Ireland. The voting on the deal in British Parliament will take place in an extraordinary session tomorrow. And following the deal, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has expressed confidence that the MPs will back the Brexit deal, despite the Democratic Unionist Party of Northern Ireland's opposition to it. The party is against the concessions he made to European Union on the customs checks at the points of entry into Northern Ireland. The head of European Union Executive Jean-Claude Juncker and his Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier both said that the deal would maintain peace on the island of Ireland. And Bolivian opposition candidates are closing in on President Evo Morales in polls ahead of a general election this weekend, with the Latin America's longest continuous standing leader possibly being edged out in a second-round runoff. However, the margin over the second-place candidate, Carlos Mesa, a business-friendly former president, would be sufficiently narrow. The presidential candidates in Bolivia need to get above 40% of the vote in the first round and have a 10-point lead over the second-place rival in order to avoid a runoff. The poll showed both the candidates have consolidated support in September, and the winner will assume office in January for a 5-year period. Thousands of people took to the streets of Lebanon on Thursday protesting against the government's decision to levy tax on WhatsApp calls. Demonstrations erupted in the capital Beirut, in its southern suburbs, in the southern city of Sidon, in the northern city of Tripoli, and in the Bekaa Valley. The telecommunications minister said that the far-reaching demonstrations forced the government to walk back on its decision to approve the tax. The government had announced a 20% daily fee for messaging app users who made calls on platforms such as WhatsApp and Viber. And owing to the economic crisis, the Lebanese government has declared a state of economic emergency. Lebanon is currently facing public debt burdens of around $86 billion, stagnant growth, crumbling infrastructure, and the strains in its financial systems linked to reduced capital inflows. And in some more news from around the world, as the protests continued for the fourth consecutive night on Thursday, Barcelona again witnessed violence, with demonstrators setting furniture and garbage bins to fire. And though the protesters staged a peaceful protest through, it ended up being the worst night of the violence. Earlier on in the day, thousands of students took to the streets, some hurling eggs at the police holding riot shields. Marches from around the region are due to converge on Barcelona today, and the unions have called a general strike as well. And California rolled out the nation's first statewide earthquake warning system designed to detect seismic waves and alert residents through a mobile phone app even before the ground starts shaking. The governor, who has urged Californians to download the app on the anniversary of the devastating Loma Prieta earthquake on 17th October 1989, boasted the program was more sophisticated than the early warning systems already used in Mexico and Japan. And let's now move on to our next segment, the finance world, and for that let's go across now to my colleague Aanchal.
Well, thank you very much, Nancy. And today is the fifth trading session. Let's have a look at those news which are making headlines in the world of business. And firstly, we are going to talk about innovation. Karnataka has topped the ever first innovation ranking of states, followed by Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Bihar, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh are at the bottom of the list brought out by the national think tank Niti Aayog yesterday. The India Innovation Index has been developed on the lines of Global Innovation Index. It looks into the innovation ecosystem of Indian states and union territories to help governments design policies to drive innovation across the regions. Let's have a look at this report.
Niti Aayog has launched its first Innovation Index. The index attempts to create an extensive framework for the continual evaluation of innovation environment of 29 states and 7 union territories. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana have been ranked as top 5 states in innovation in Niti Aayog's first Innovation Index released on Thursday. Chhattisgarh, Bihar and Jharkhand are at the bottom of the index among states. Among northeastern states, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand have topped the index, while Delhi, Chandigarh and Goa have topped the list among union territories in the country. The index has been developed on the lines of the Global Innovation Index.
You've got a set of enablers and a set of performance indicators. Now, we have 6 enablers and 2 performance indicators. I'm hoping that we'll shift gradually to more and more performance-based evaluation and outcome-based evaluation, and our innovation index will get based on it, because that then again becomes, a much better competitive rank, and that will attract the investors also. So when clusters to try to really set in motion clusters, to get the synergies between different stakeholders, and 3, shift to competitive good governance even in this time. I think that's the role that these indices can play.
The idea behind the index, which has been developed over the last 1.5 years, is to analyze innovation at the state level. The index ranks states based on their innovation capability, the challenges and opportunities that the states face, and actions needed by policymakers to foster innovation.
All these practices we put out regularly, and all of the other districts have been requested to learn from these best practices and take them forward for implementation in their own area. So imagine about 115 districts, their best innovations, all the district collectors competing, getting ranked, their innovations, each one of them learning from each other, innovating further, implementing in his own district. And I was in this, and that is what innovation in terms of better nutrition, better food, better learning outcomes, and better performance, all this leads to a much better quality of life. And this is how districts after districts will get transformed in India.
The index is based on 7 pillars, which include 5 enablers and 2 performance indicators, some of which include human capital, investment, knowledge workers, and knowledge output. Abhishek Jha's report, DD India.
Now let's talk about 5G technology, which has revolutionized communication across the world. Scientists are now preparing equipments based on 5G technology. IIT Delhi organized a workshop based on bringing technologies in the use with 5G, and all aspects related to this technology were discussed. According to the experts, 5G technology will be effective in providing a smart city, better sanitation and health facilities, which will benefit people around. Fugitive diamantaire Nirav Modi appeared before Westminster Magistrates Court yesterday via video link in connection with Punjab National Bank case. The fugitive, who has been further remanded into custody till 11th November, is fighting extradition to India on charges of over nearly $2 billion Punjab National Bank fraud and money laundering case. Nirav Modi was arrested by uniformed Scotland Yard officers on March 19. And that's all we have in this edition of Finance World. Back to Nancy for more news updates.
Thanks, Anchal, for that. And let's now move on to sports news. Well, the Indian challenge in the singles event of the Denmark Open badminton tournament at Odense came to an end. In the women's singles, world champion PV Sindhu crashed out of the tournament after losing to Korea's An Si-young. Sindhu lost the tie in straight games, 21-14, 21-17. And earlier, Saina Nehwal lost her tie in the first round. In the men's singles, Samir Varma lost to China's Chen Long 21-10, 21-12. In another men's singles, B Sai Praneeth lost to top seed Kento Momota of Japan 21-6, 21-14. In the men's doubles event, pair of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj lost to Chinese pair of Cheng Kai Han and Hao Dongzhu 21-16, 21-15. And now, a 6-day special coaching camp for under-17 boys and girls in the discipline of badminton, table tennis, boxing, yoga and hockey commenced at the Indoor Sports Stadium in Jammu. The camp is being organized by the District Administration Udhampur in collaboration with the Sports Council JNK under Khelo India Sports for Peace and Development. Sportspersons of different blocks of District Udhampur took part in the camp. And the District Development Commissioner said that sports activities help the youth channelize their energy in a positive manner.
खेलो इंडिया आने से एक ये हुआ कि आगे स्पोर्ट्स की जो हमारी म्याद थी वो सिर्फ स्कूल्स तक रह जाती थी। कई बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं जो स्कूल सिस्टम से बाहर हैं, जिनको भी खेलने का अपॉर्चुनिटीज चाहिए। तो इसके तहत हमें थोड़ा डिस्क्रिप्शन मिला और लोगों को बच्चों तक हम पहुंच पाए, खास तौर पे बच्चियों पे। आज आपने देखा है कि इस कैंप में बहुत सारी बच्चियां शामिल हैं जो स्पोर्ट्स को आगे लेके जाने के लिए बॉक्सिंग कुछ में इंटरेस्ट रखती हैं। मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले समय में खेलो इंडिया के अंदर न सिर्फ मेल स्टूडेंट्स बल्कि बच्चियों को भी बहुत फायदा मिलेगा। जो बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ का हमारा मैसेज है वो और सशक्त मैसेज हम आगे दे पाएंगे।
The new president of the Marylebone Cricket Club, former Sri Lanka captain Kumara Sangakkara, believes that Test cricket can capitalize on the growth of the shorter format game. The ICC Cricket World Cup reached a thrilling climax at the home of the MCC Lords earlier this year as the host nation England beat New Zealand in a super over to win their first ever World Cup title. And Sangakkara, the first non-British president of the MCC, believes that the interest shown during that event can help grow all the forms of the game. Sangakkara will hold his new post of the president for 1 year, which will see England play test matches against the West Indies and Pakistan and an ODI against Australia.
I think the time to capitalize is now. You can't take 4 months since the World Cup final and then try to decide, okay, what are we going to do with that? Because, you know, you've got a small window of opportunity here before people kind of then try to move on. I was there at the Bangladesh-Pakistan game at Lords, and there were children who were allowed into the member stand at Lords, and it just changed the entire atmosphere. It became this vibrant area to sit and watch the game. And I think that is how we actually bring more fans to the game and take cricket to the masses. In the UK, less than 1% of state school children play sport. They need to be given more opportunity. So the MCC hubs through the MCC Foundation is trying to do just that. We now have girls-only hubs as well, so we have lots of young boys and girls taking to the sport. I think the England team needs to make those connections as well. The World Cup winning team, take them to the schools, have them talk to children face-to-face, classrooms, have those conversations, look them in the eye and inspire them to kind of take up not just cricket, any sport, because it is such an important and integral part of having a healthy life, of growing up well, and also in terms of discipline and focus, so that a lot of the pitfalls of modern life, I think with that disciplinary structure, that focus on something wholesome, can probably be avoided.
And let's now move on to our next segment, the morning print, to get you a glimpse of what the national dailies are carrying this morning. We are beginning first with the news from the Times of India, where the Union Home Minister Amit Shah says need to rewrite history from India's point of view. In fact, he said on Savarkar as well, that had it not been for Savarkar, the 1857 Kranti would not have entered history and we would have been seeing it from the British point of view. It was Savarkar who gave the name First War of Independence to the 1857 Kranti, otherwise our children would have known it as a result. He's talking about the British portrayal, of course, of the 1857 uprising as just a mutiny by Indian sepoys in East India Company's army would have still ruled the roost, saying that stressing on the need to rewrite history from India's perspective, saying had it not been for Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. And on history itself, he said it is our responsibility to write our history. How long are we going to blame the British? We don't have to dispute anyone, only write what is the truth, and it will stand the test of time. Moving on now to news from Indian Express, and this is news that we also in fact got you earlier. how the focus in J&K is on development, on empowerment, and also on academics, on student life as well. Very important that is going to be in J&K. And J&K has announced class 5th to 12th examinations, making sure that the students in the valley attend the school and also successfully undertake the examinations. Moving on now to this news from the Asian Age. Assam wants to revive 3 old rail links with Bangladesh in order to accelerate the trade relationship. The Assam government has embarked upon an ambitious plan by asking the External Affairs Ministry and the Niti Aayog to reopen the pre-partition railway links from Chittagong to Makum, Cox's Bazar to Ledo, and a third line to Bangladesh via Golaganj till Murabari. And in fact, the Assam government will host a 2-day stakeholders meeting between India and Bangladesh on from 22nd October, and in India's attempt to connect with these markets, Assam and the entire Northeast has an advantageous position as well by the virtue of its geographical location, and Assam is going all out to capitalize this opportunity. And towards the end, news on the Brexit. And here we have it from the Times of India, which talks about another Brexit deal, but will it finally take the UK out of European Union? There you can see that half a page story there explaining what Brexit really means and the consequences of this as well. And this first of all talks about the backstop options, Northern Irish backstop, the UK-wide backstop, and what challenges really lie before the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and what next. Now Johnson still has to push the deal through Parliament, and that takes place tomorrow, the extraordinary session of the British Parliament, to vote on Johnson's deal, and 320 votes, it further says, what Johnson needs to get the deal through in the 650-member Parliament, and for that his party needs DUP MPs 10 votes to stay in office. Remember, DUP has opposed the deal. And with that, it's a wrap on the morning print for now. Let's move on now to our next segment, that is the history of the day, taking a look back at the significance of this day.
On this day in 1931, American researcher Thomas Alva Edison died in West Orange, New Jersey. On this day in 1989, communist leader of East Germany Erich Honecker resigned as head of state due to health issues. On the same day in 1967, the Soviet Union successfully sent a probe, Venera, into the atmosphere of Venus for the first time.
And I look now at the important events for today.
President Ramnath Kovind to meet the Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte in Malahanaya on his 5-day visit to Philippines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a public rally in Gohana in Hisar, Haryana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a public rally in Mumbai too. It is the last day for candidates contesting assembly elections in Haryana and Maharashtra to publicly declare the criminal cases pending against them. As per Election Commission's amended rules, the candidates are required to publicize their cases thrice in widely circulated dailies and thrice on channels in 8-second slots. Supreme Court to hear a plea seeking directions to protect the interests of around 15 lakh customers whose money is blocked in the Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative bank scam. Former Civil Aviation Minister and Nationalist Congress Party leader Praful Patel to appear before the Enforcement Directorate for his alleged links with the underworld don Dawood Ibrahim's close aide Iqbal Mirchi.
And moving on now to our health story of the day, and today we are focusing on eating right, which does not have to be complicated. You can simply begin by shifting to healthier food and beverages, and in fact start building a smarter plate by choosing fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean protein and low-fat dairy. Now these are foods that are packed with nutrition you need without all the added sugar and solid fats. Transform your eating habits with these easy tips.
Unhealthy diet or eating wrongly often result in weight gain or undernutrition. Knowing exactly what is good or bad for health is essential. Most people stick on to the taste, leaving the quality of food to the back seat.
The breakfast would be the richest one. Every meal should be nutritious. Half of your plate should be given to the green leafy vegetables, fruits which can be eaten with the peel, and seasonal vegetables. The half of the plate should be given to the should be divided into 2 categories, and one part should be given to the cereal and millets, and 1 part should be given to the pulses. People who are non-vegetarian, they have the other choices also to include protein-rich items in your diet, like white meat is always good option.
Your delicious favorite foods may be silently packing on the calories. If snacks consist of empty calories without any nutrition, all your good efforts in the domain of healthy eating come to naught. You have to prioritize on food. Do not compromise on your favorite recipes, but keep a balance between taste and nutrition.
In protein-rich options, the dal and pulses are a very good choices if it is eaten in a at least once in a day. It is eaten in a whole way. So in a sprouted form, or it is in a whole form, it is always good. White meats are always good. Eggs can be taken regularly. The fiber is very important aspect of the nutritious food. So cereal should be in a good quantity, sufficient quantity in the whole form, not in the refined form. So it is always better to avoid confectionaries. It is always better to avoid refined flour and products made out of the refined flour. 3 aspects are very important. The diet should be planned, it should be nutritious, it should be eaten well, and it should be eaten in right time, and breakfast shouldn't be avoided.
Start checking your portion size, keep it small and frequent. Learn the art of eating right to maintain in good health. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
And good news in their story now, and it's about a Gujarati couple who gave up well-paying jobs in the Silicon Valley to take up organic farming back home. Theirs is an inspiring story which tells us how to protect crops from pests and save the rainwater. They are an example of living in harmony with the nature.
This couple from Gujarat, Vivek Shah and his wife Brinda, quit good Silicon Valley jobs to take up organic farming in Nadiad. For love of their motherland and with a desire to give back to nature, they chose to become farmers. They took a 45-day course in organic farming and are now growing several crops including wheat, banana, potato, cotton and brinjal. Over a 10-acre area near the highway in Nadiad. The Shahs started this farm in April 2016. They are now making profits and providing employment to other people.
ऑर्गेनिक खेती द्वारा उत्पादन होने वाले इस केले की क्वालिटी बहुत ही अच्छी है और इसकी पैदावार भी अधिक है. इससे हमें काफी मुनाफा मिलता है मार्केट में.
The Shahs use scientific and modern techniques, but the biggest challenge for organic farmers is pest control. They use intercropping and multi-cropping to deal with this potential danger. The farm uses a rainwater harvesting plant with a capacity of 20,000 litres. At full capacity, it can meet irrigation needs for 3 years. Compost is derived from farm waste, which is useful for the plants. The Shahs are finding good demand for bananas and improved cotton.
हमने जो कोर्स किया उसकी मदद से यहाँ कपास की खेती कर रहे हैं. वैसे भी सरकार कपास की खेती को बढ़ावा दे रही है. उम्मीद करते हैं कि आने वाले दिनों में हमें इसकी अच्छी कीमत मिल जाएगी.
Organic farming has drawn many of the brightest Indians living abroad to return home. The Shahs have shown the way with their courage and conviction. Good News India, DG News.
And I look now at the weather conditions across the country for today. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Breakfast News. We'll be back on Monday now, same time, same place. We'll see you then. But before we go today, we are leaving you with the glimpses of hot air balloons glowing at an annual festival in Mexico. Take a look at that and have a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.